is your Mayor, Casey Hines, and welcome to Eye on the City. Today, we will look in our Move Piqua segment about how we are getting out and getting active as citizens here in our beautiful community. In our This is Piqua segment, we will continue to look at ways Piqua is becoming the great city that it is. This is Piqua is something I encourage all of our citizens to start to say. Instead of it's just Piqua, we need to remember that this is Piqua, and we have some great things happening here. And finally, in my Piqua Now segment, we will look at what is happening here in our community right now. So join me for this episode of Eye on the City. As you know, I've been encouraging our citizens to get out and get moving in the beautiful community that we live in. Many of you know that for the past 6 months we have had walks with the mayor in the different ward neighborhoods of our city. And we have had different people within our city, different departments come into those wards, meet with citizens where they live, and talk about the issues they have there in the place that they live. The last one that we did was Ward 5, and we had our assistant superintendent of our water treatment plant, Bob Jennings, join us. So in this segment of Move Piqua, you will hear Bob talk about our new water treatment plant that will be open soon this spring. And you will also get an idea, if you have not been part of these walks, what these walks with the mayor have been all about. So I encourage you, next spring we will start them again, and we will walk with the mayor through the wards of our city. I was going to invite Bob, is our assistant superintendent at our water treatment plant, and there has been a lot of, I had that title correct, didn't I? Okay, good. There's a lot of activity going outside in that part of our community, so I thought it would be good for Bob just to give us a little update as to where we are, and if people have questions about the water plant, you can ask them now or as we're walking. So,
So as many of you know, we're in the process of building our new water treatment plant. Our pipeline company that was running the pipes to the new plant and from the new plant just finished up last week, and they're out of town, so part of the project's done and completed. Peterson Construction building the plant is doing a fabulous job. They won't tell us, but we pretty much know they're ahead of schedule a little bit. Final completion time is around late July of next year, but we're thinking at this point that we should be making water in that plant hopefully into March, 1st of April, somewhere in that time frame. There's still a little construction's gone well because of the weather and so forth, and they were able to pour concrete all winter, which was great for them. But there is a little holding on some of the equipment and getting that made. Right here, there's a little bit of delay on some of that, but it looks like it's going to work out pretty well. So thankfully, we're doing real well as far as everything goes. Construction, they're ahead, moving along, and we're getting ready to go and get in there and get working. So. And also, if you know, we're in the process of getting ready to build a new water tower as well. Our loan for that is actually up for approval this Thursday through the Ohio EPA, a low interest loan. So we're building a new water tower on Fox Drive at the end of south end of town. 1 million gallon tank that'll be there, and there'll be water main running down Drake Road that goes to that tower as well. And both companies that got the bid, as a matter of fact, we have to go back to commission October 4th, the first meeting, to get the final approval of the contracts, and our pipeline guys already have their crew here Monday morning, following morning, October 5th. They're ready to go, and the same way with the tower people, so that's going to be moving along pretty fast as well. Like I said, the new plant, we're really excited. It looks great. It's a lot bigger footprint than what we have now, but we'll be able to do some good things there. Big update for the city.
Does anybody have any questions for Bob at this point?
Why don't you tell them what year the current plant was built?
1925.
1925. Wow.
So the question I keep hearing is, how do you switch it? Like, how do you get the new line and close the old one? How does that work?
Actually, the way we're fortunate with that, we were able to build just north of the current plant. So on the west side of 66, there are two 24-inch water mains, and we tied them into the existing water mains right out in front of the current plant. So right now that we have valves, and actually they're open, we're pushing water up to the new plant. Just last week we filled at the new plant, there's a 2 million gallon clear well. You can drive by, if you go down the Hardin Road, you can kind of see it off to the left, where the old Hardin Alder used to be. It's a huge concrete tank, and we just filled that for them last week. We supplied the water. They're doing a leak test on that tank right now. But when it's all said and done, we get water there, we're ready to start pumping. We can just close 2 valves, shut off the current plant, and the water will just flow through the same way it flows through town now, which is great. If some of you know, we considered going to Troy as a possibility, and one of the big scary things with that is the water would have had reverse flow through town. And it doesn't sound like that big a deal, but it really is. When you start changing the water flows through your distribution system, you can come up with all kinds of problems. So thankfully, with the way we were able to work it out, we didn't have to worry about that. We'll just use the existing mains. Like I said, we tied in right in front of the plant and close 2 valves, shut off the current plant, and the water's flowing right on down. So.
Water, you have good water pressure.
Yeah, water pressure is not a problem here in town at all.
And it tastes good.
It tastes good. It'll even be better. With our new plant, we're having what we call granular activated carbon filters, which we have not been able to. We looked at ways to try and incorporate that into the existing plant. We couldn't do it. What this does is it basically just polishes the water a little bit better. It helps us take a lot of the organics out of the water. Something we battle here in Pickwa is a chemical called atrazine that comes off the chemical fields. That'll be able to take that out a lot better than what we currently can, and also help with our disinfection byproducts, which is something we struggle with a lot, especially on the south end of town because of the age of the water as it goes through the distribution system. The chlorine combined with some organics in the water and it creates a byproduct, and that's one of the things we've been fighting with the EPA and trying to stay under their regulations because they make them stricter and stricter and stricter. Makes it tougher for us to comply. So the new water tower as well will really help with that. But also those carbon filters will be huge with that also.
Bob, what happens with the old facility?
Well, originally we didn't know. And we were approached one day, by Fire Chief Polschneider, and he says, what are you guys going to do with the old building? So as of right now, there's no plan. There was no money put in to demolish it. So eventually, that'll have to be figure out how to be financed. And he said, well, we're talking with some guys about possibly creating a regional training facility for fire. Could we come through and look at it? We're like, sure. Well, since that initial just walk-by conversation, Bowling Green University is involved, and there's been a guy from there that's been to our plant 3 times. They have renderings. They've had a meeting in Columbus with financial people. And right now, we're hoping it goes through. They're looking at possibly reutilizing that plant as a regional training facility for fire and police. And they're talking, last we heard, this guy from Bowling Green said this could be on an international level because of the confined space. They could use the filters inside for winter dive training. They can do a lot, like I said, a lot of other safety training. They have the river right across the road where they can do swift water training access. They have the lake and reservoir behind that they can utilize for that type of stuff as well. So we're hoping it goes through. It's kind of, been quietly gone through the works and so forth, but there's a huge possibility that it could be revitalized for that. So. The shooting range is not still there. The police still own that facility. They still have, no, that would not be, but the regional tactical team use that area quite a bit for training. Matter of fact, they use the existing water plant. They'll come to us and say, hey, we got, actually just this past year, they had snipers on our roof and on the levee bank, doing scenarios, and they still use that area. But the shooting range itself, they don't fire live rounds there anymore.
All right, is there, folks in Ward 5, any requests on where we walk?
Let's go down Becker Drive and we'll get a knock on the door there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, we'll go down Becker. Sounds good. Sounds good. We'll head in that direction. Yes, it costs tonight. That's a great question. So typically, as we walk, if you have questions, concerns, anything like that, it's kind of a leisurely walk. But if you want to have conversation or ask questions, obviously we have folks from the school here, and we are here at one of our beautiful new facilities, one of our new schools. So if there's any questions for Dwayne or Frank, they're available for that as well. Do you guys want to say anything before we start walking, or?
Has anybody not been in our school from your school? Yeah. Real quick, why don't we go through here real quick?
Come back. I don't want to come back.
Yeah, why don't we walk and we come back? That way we'll have daylight, and if it's a little darker, then that'll be good. Perfect. Okay. I thought it's because you had to cook Bill dinner. Yeah, you did. All right, okay, so why don't we head in that direction and we'll just walk and talk and enjoy the beautiful night.
Daddy, could we run?
For my This is Piqua segment, we're going to visit and talk about our HELP program here in our community. HELP is a program that's been around for a few years, and especially this year we have been really working on connecting citizens and helping citizens help other citizens with needs here in our community. I will be talking with Nikki Reese and also Kathy Sherman, who have been involved with the HELP program, and you will hear a little bit about how HELP has helped those in need here in our community. So join me as we learn more about the ways that we can celebrate the good things in Piqua and the ways that citizens are helping one another. Hello, and here we are with Nikki Reese and Kathy Sherman, and today we're going to talk in our This is Piqua segment about the HELP program here in our community. So I thank you guys for coming today and being part of this. And getting the word out, because this is doing some wonderful things for our community, and I'm really excited about what has already happened in really about a year.
Absolutely.
It's been about a year.
It started, or we reinitiated the program in August of last year. The city started the HELP program, which is Housing Enhancement League of Piqua, back in 2012. Mr. Lutz, Bill Lutz, who was my predecessor, kind of initiated it, and it just really didn't take off. Mm-hmm. And I think it came out of the Citizens for a Better Piqua meeting last summer, where we were discussing there's a need in our community to help low-income, disabled, elderly folks with minor home repairs, or whether it's mowing the grass or shoveling snow. And Gary Huff spoke up and said, well, we have the HELP program. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how we got reinitiated and kicked off.
Mm-hmm. You know, the thing that I love about this is it's our community coming together to help each other. You know, and so I love the vision of the fact that somebody may be painting somebody's house, and then the next day they run into them at Kroger, and there's already a relationship that has happened. And so I think it's wonderful, and it'll be neat to talk through, because I know some of the projects we've done we're going to talk through in this segment today. So we have kind of the background of how it got started. Why don't we talk about some of the first projects that we did? Because I know that there were some really neat projects that we have been.
I'll let Kathy talk about this one, because she really kick-started this
The one that really made me feel good, that we were able to do it and connect businesses with other businesses to help out, was just literally sitting in front of a group of HR managers in Piqua businesses, explaining what the program is, and having one of them step aside after the meeting and say, hey, we've got money, we want to help a family at Christmas. Nikki and I talked it over. Okay, what can we do? And we had a single mom with a child, and they needed a new furnace. So we put the connection together. We contacted, the business was Harmony Systems, a great supporter of the community. And we made connections with Morris Heating and Cooling. And through both of those wonderful businesses and their employees, Harmony Systems purchased the discounted furnace, and Morris Heating and Cooling absorbed all of the labor cost. So two businesses that came together with our HELP committee, and by Christmas, by the cold weather, she was able to have a warm home. And to see her and the emotion that she had when she had that gift given to her we get so much more out of what we are able to provide to these people. So it made us all feel good.
That's great.
She had a great Christmas too.
That's great. We have Harmony Systems, and we have Morris Heating and Air coming together. And you know, and the article is sitting here that was in the Piqua Daily Call after this happened. And the article is entitled "A Warm-Hearted Christmas." And what a wonderful way to provide for somebody in need, and to give them a big Christmas present this past year.
And we've always said it's a hand up, not a handout, which
Right.
is
And for the majority, out of the 10 residents that we've assisted so far, the majority of them are so thankful. I mean, they send us thank you cards, they call us up, they give us hugs. I mean, it's a great feeling.
But why don't you talk about a few of the other projects that we've done?
Another project that's really sticks out in my mind is an elderly lady. She's 83 years old. She's almost blind, and she needed help mowing her grass. She didn't have family that lived close to town to assist her with that. So 2 of our help committee members, Rick Klosterman and Greg Burkhart, wonderful guys, have been taking turns all summer long mowing her grass. And she is so appreciative of it. She's a sweet lady. She'll come out while the guys are out there mowing and just chat and just, it's a wonderful, great feeling. She sent us thank you cards. Her daughter sent us a thank you card. Just so appreciative of what we've been doing. So that project really sticks out in my mind.
That really does.
And I know we talked about painting. We painted somebody's house and had a variety of people help out with that from all over the community. I mean, that was wonderful. And I know that, I believe it was the Miami County Foundation and the Pickle Community Foundation that helped to fund that. So, yeah.
And the funding that they provided us went towards the materials, like purchasing the paint. We actually used that funding to purchase a hot water heater. This is another remarkable story. I just was notified by the Miami County Foundation that we were funded, and that week, her water heater completely went out, and she takes care of her granddaughter, so they were going to go without hot water because they didn't have the funding to purchase a new one. And I was picking that check up from the Miami County Foundation that week. So we went ahead and put the water heater in I got the call from her on a Monday. We put the water heater in on Tuesday, and then I got the check on Thursday. So she did not go without hot water.
Wow. And this is a whole separate person other than the painting and the other jobs that we've done. So, yeah. So how many projects have we, I know we've got a list here. We've
completed 10.
We've completed 10 projects in just a little more than a year.
Exactly. Yes.
Wow. That's almost a project a month.
And we have 2 more scheduled that we're going to be doing in the next month too.
Okay.
We had a help committee meeting this morning, and we approved 2 more projects.
Okay, and I know you mentioned your committee. Who is on the committee?
It consists of Rhonda Metzroff, Kathy Sherman, Rick Klosterman, and Greg Burkhart, and myself.
Okay.
To sit on the committee. So what we do is we have a help application, because one of the things with receiving this assistance is you have to qualify income-wise. And we're specifically looking at low-income folks that can't, do the work. And so the committee will review the application. We'll actually go out and look at the repairs that need to be done. We actually sit down and meet with the homeowner at their house. Because there may be other repairs that need to be done than what they were originally requesting.
Yeah, you don't want to fix a roof if there's something falling down inside. So, yeah.
And then one of the things we do is we ask them, even if they're disabled, if there's some way they can give back to the community. Whether they help a local church with a mailing, or the volunteers that show up to paint their homes, can you provide them lemonade or cookies or something like that? Just give back to the community in some way is what we ask. Again, like what Kathy said, it's a hand up, not a handout.
Right. And we've had, every one of them have done something. So.
Well, and I love the fact that we have, we've had the young folks from the Civil Air Patrol help with the painting. We've had a church help with the painting as well. We've had individuals, I know that Rick and Greg, and we've had retired electricians help with things. And, it's all parts of our community coming together to help other citizens.
And even the businesses.
And the businesses as
well.
well.
Harmony Systems in Morris.
Yeah, Harmony Systems, Morris, and you mentioned
Home Depot did the discount on the paint, so yeah.
The restaurants that have helped us when everybody was there painting, we definitely needed to feed them. So,
right.
And the restaurants that were contacted, immediately, absolutely, tell us what you need.
Wow. Well, and I'm looking at this, so at this time, and these are all donated funds, correct, that has been spent at this point. We have spent $13,544.13 helping out our community, and there are 10 people that we have helped out at this point. And I know you said there's a couple more that are in the works at this point. So if there is someone out there watching and they fall into the bracket that you have spoken about that could receive help, what do they need to do in order to get help?
They need to contact me. Again, my name is Nikki Reese. I'm the resource coordinator for the HELP program. And my phone number is area code 937-778-2062. And so I'm the point of contact. Or if you would like to stop into the city commission chamber or office, and I'm in the city manager's office, and pick up an application.
Okay.
Or if you just want to talk about the program and ask general questions.
And obviously, you have to live within the city limits in order to receive help from this program. So that's obviously.
And again, I want to reiterate, the repairs that we can do, they're minor repairs. Painting, we might say your gutters are falling down, you just need someone to physically go up there and reattach them. Or clean your gutters out, or mow your grass, or shovel snow. But we don't have the financing to do like a full-blown new roof, or side your house, or put new windows in. So.
Well, and the other thing I want to point out to citizens, if you are part of a church, part of a youth group, part of a civic organization, and you are looking for ways to give back to the community and get involved, you also could get in touch with Nikki and get on the volunteer list, because many hands make light work, and again, I believe we are called to be a village to help one another and our community, and I'm excited that this program has had such wonderful success over this past year, and look forward to hearing about more ways that we can help our citizens. So, Nikki and Kathy, I thank you for your time today, and again, if you want information, you can get in touch with Nikki in the city manager's office, and again, we talk about what Piqua is, and this right here is Piqua. There are great things happening in our community, and our HELP program is definitely one of them, and something that we all, as Piqua citizens, can be proud of. Thanks so much. My Piqua Now segment, we will be talking with one of Piqua's finest. I was lucky enough to be able to go on a ride-along with Officer Todd Voskuhl and get a bird's-eye view as to what his day entailed. We are lucky to have the police department that we have here in our community. And as many of you know, we have had a sea of blue that has surrounded our community in support for Piqua's finest. So join me in this Piqua Now segment so you can get an idea of what the day-to-day life is for one of our officers. And this is Mayor Casey Hines, and I have been riding along with Patrol Officer Voskuhl tonight. This is a Friday night here in Piqua, and we have gone around and taken care of a few things that have been happening in our community. One of the things we talked about was a lot of the time that they work is around disturbances and different things that are going on, and we've dealt with a couple of those already. But I thought it would be appropriate to talk with Officer Voskuhl just to get his reflections on some of the things that have been going on in the news lately. Obviously, all of our hearts and minds are with those in Dallas and those officers who lost their lives and their family. And so I thought it might be interesting just to get Officer Voskuhl's reflections on that, and just also some reflections on just, he has a family, he has children, he has a wife, and, we all, know that they give up a lot to let him come out and really help us in our community to keep us safe. So, Officer Voskuhl, any comments or reflections on what happened in Dallas a few weeks ago?
Well, when I first saw it, obviously I woke up and I saw it the following morning, and it actually affected me a great deal. I spent the whole day watching the news to see the outcome, and it made me realize that it's not always safe out here. There are times when people don't like us for what we do, and it's not always in our control. Things aren't always in our control. So it made me realize that I have to be more vigilant while I'm out here. I have to pay closer attention. I can't be as relaxed and always stay focused on what I'm doing.
Yeah. What about your family? How did it affect your family?
I sat down with my kids that day and we watch the news together. It's important for me that they know that what I do isn't always safe, and that there are people out there that do want to hurt us, or that have wanted to hurt us, and they are understanding of what I do, but they've always seen me as a police officer. They've never seen me as anything else. So I don't know that it affects them, or at least they haven't told me that it affects them as much as it has affected me, obviously. But they are aware of what's going on, and you know, they always want me to come home safe. So
Understandably, as we all do as well. As citizens of Piqua, what is it that we can do to really support our police force? You know, many people have, you know, we have the whole Blue Ribbon, the Sea of Blue Ribbon campaign, which was so wonderfully started by our library staff and Jim Oda, and then I have challenged our community to create a Sea of Blue Ribbon just to show our support of our police department. But are there some other ways that we as Piqua citizens maybe could help and support our police force and just help you as citizens?
Yeah, actually, you know, we a lot of times don't hear that, you know, we're appreciated. So it's always nice when someone does come up and tells us, you know, they appreciate what we do. But as far as things that they can do to just help police officers is to keep an eye open and just if things don't look normal, they're probably not. If things look suspicious, call, let us know, you know, give us a heads up. Maybe we can stop something before something major happens just by a citizen's call.
Okay. So basically on Friday and Saturday night, what are some of the things that you typically deal with?
Basically from the beginning of shift on evenings on Friday night all the way till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, we're going from disturbance to disturbance. Some weekends are worse than others, but our typical Friday and Saturday nights deal mainly with fights and alcohol-related issues, things like that.
Okay. All right, Officer Voskuhl, did you always think that you wanted to be a police officer?
Actually, no. Getting out of the Air Force, my whole goal growing up was to be a firefighter. My brother was getting out of the Navy at the same time, and he was going to the police academy and asked me to join him, and I thought it'd be fun. And I ended up going to the police academy and doing well, and was offered a job with the Miami County Sheriff's Office right out of the police academy. So that's how I ended up as a police officer.
And how long were you with the Miami County Sheriff's Office?
Just around 5 years.
Okay, and you've been with our force how long?
Just over 10 years, so pushing 11 years now.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we sure do appreciate you and all the other officers that are part of our police department, and appreciate having the opportunity to ride along with you tonight, and just know that your citizens appreciate you and are thankful for all that you do to keep us safe.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me for our Eye on the City today. I look forward to seeing you in future episodes. And remember, we do live in a great community. So let's give thanks for the beautiful community we live in, and as citizens, let's continue to make it the best that it can be.